You already know that in the past week or two, the issue of the Komenda sugar factory has become topical. One, because just 48 hours after the president commissioned it, there were some reports of it being shut down for some maintenance work. It became an issue that rolled on and on. Government had to release a statement saying that no, it has not been shut down. In fact, it has been producing sugar for a number of days. Now we've been able to visit the site ourselves to get to understand what is happening with this project and how much sugar are we supposed to provide. Mr. Konyako has just joined me on the line now from the sugar factory. He has been there today to see things for himself. He joins me now on the line. Kojo, good afternoon. Kojo, do I have you on the line? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Francis.
Great. So you've been to the Komenda Sugar Factory. First, tell us what you saw.
Well, what I saw was a heap of sugar cane, and I'm told that it's about 1,000 tons. And the more vehicles I put up to 8 truckloads of sugar cane that are being brought in. There was a lot of noise at the factory site indicating that there is life there and the factory was working. I have been speaking with a lot of the workers that work at the factory. I've spoken to the Indian contractors or the managers of the place currently who tell me that the factory is not going to be shut down. They also gave me a PR, someone who speaks for and on behalf of the management of the Komenda Sugar Factory now. And he tells me that the factory is currently on a test run. They are running the test. And the reason why there hasn't been any sugar that has been sold out of the factory is that in the process of the test run, there will be some challenges. And so they will continue to correct such challenges along the way. And
okay, Kojo, slow down for me. The information you're giving is pretty interesting because you've been there and there's been a history to this, the kind of conversation we've seen in relation to the Komenda Sugar Factory. So, first of all, you've been able to establish that indeed since the president went there, has it been ever shut down or not? Clarify that for me, please.
Yeah, it hasn't been shut down. In fact, the factory is still in operation, and they tell me that they are currently test running the system. So the factory has not been shut down, and they are saying that it might be shut down about 6 months or in a period of about 6 months when they have exhausted all the sugar cane, and then they will shut it down for maintenance work to be done for a period of 1 to 2 months. Then it will start work. So it hasn't been shut down.
Hasn't been shut down. That's fine. But as we speak, Kojo, you're saying that the factory is not producing any sugar at all. Why is that?
They tell me that we will see the first sugar from the factory either tomorrow or the next day. So we are expecting the first sugar to be seen from the Komenda Sugar Factory tomorrow being Wednesday or Thursday. I asked, why is that so, and how long does it take for the sugar cane to be processed into sugar? And they said that usually it takes between 48 hours and 72 hours. Then I asked further, so why is it that the president has been there for almost a week and is not seeing any sugar? And that was where the test running of the system came in, and they told me that, well, it's been some processes, and the test running is to clear all the doubts or all the problems or challenges in the system in order for the sugar to be seen. So all these things have been cleared now, and so it is possible that by tomorrow or the next day, we will see the first sugar from the Komenda Sugar Factory.
Okay, so that's for when we should expect the very first produce from the Komenda Sugar Factory to come out. But what about the other niggling question about the workers who work there? We were learning earlier that they had their own peculiar concerns. What are they?
Well, I saw a lot of the workers there, and I was also told that some are being processed in order to work at the factory. Currently, they led me to where they have established the sugarcane farm, where the factory itself, the factory farm itself, they have nursed the seedlings and now it's beginning to grow. But where they are getting this sugarcane, you know, for the Komenda enclave or the area there, they use the sugarcane for a lot of things. They use them for their petition and they call it molasses. And so that is what they use. And so the sugarcane is in the system, that just that they were not getting ready markets for their product. And so the workers are there, and they tell me that when the factory shuts down, the workers for 2 months or a month, the workers will be used to do other work inside or outside the factory so that the workers will not be laid off. So that is currently what we know about the state of the workers now.
Okay, but for the produce in this area, they said I will see the first sugar being produced from the factory tomorrow. But what's the quantum we should expect? It's okay to have sugar, but how much are we talking about here?
Well, they did not explain it on the quantum basis or the quantum of the sugar we should expect from the sugar. What I saw at the premises of the factory was 1,000 tons of sugar cane, and there were others that were being brought in. The engineers on site told me that by close of day today, we should see about 2,000 tons of sugar. But what has already been processed, they were unable to tell me how the quantum would be if they produce the sugar tomorrow.
Okay, now you've already mentioned that there are some seedlings that are already being planted for the sugar cane. Do we know the source of irrigation? Because that became a topical issue last week when the minority were raising questions about the source of water to actually water these sugar cane seedlings for them to grow. Did they show you the irrigation plan as well?
You know, we are in the rainy season, and for now, I did not see any irrigation plant or anything that was there. But they told me that they were all of these things are being considered. But now it's in the rainy season, and they are having the benefits of the rain, watering or making the seedlings grow possibly. But as to whether an irrigation is being processed or an irrigation system is being processed to water the sugarcane plant is what I do not have a clue about.
All right. Thank you, Kojunyako. And later on here on the show, we'll bring you some interviews that Richard had with the executives at the Komenda Sugar Factory today as part of his visit. Kojo, anything else I've missed that we have to talk about just before I let you go?
Well, I went to the Komenda town itself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went there, I spoke with the town folk. I spoke with some people, women and men, who used to work at the old factory, the factory that collapsed some years ago. And they told me some of the benefits that the Komenda Township stands to derive from that one. And other people who were not even planning to be employed in the factory says that some told me they were seamstresses, others told me they were other sellers of food. They said that when it happens like that, their markets will also grow, because if that what they hear on radio and other things that the factory has shut down and there was no even need for them to site the factory, there is anything to go by, then they said that all these are wicked lies and they do not have the township or the Komenda Township at heart. So they were really incensed, and they said that they are praying that the factory works as the people who said that who brought the factory to that place. They want the thing actually to work so that it will be a source of employment avenue to the people who are around the Komenda and its thing.
All right, thank you, Richard Kojunyako, giving us details from the Komenda Sugar Factory. And those pictures on your screens are what we actually got today from the area. As he's mentioned already, the first produce of sugar from the factory will be in tomorrow. The quantum we do not know as yet. We'll wait to see how that unfolds tomorrow. But what is clear is that the factory has not been shut down, is actually in operation. There's a maintenance module which will be followed in the coming months to ensure that this factory is up and running and is sustained properly. We'll see how that goes in the coming days. But this is just an update for you on the state of the Komenda Sugar Factory. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of Photo X is calling the bluff of the Attorney General to pursue monies said to have been overpaid to the printing company. The Attorney General is recommending the company refunds monies that were overpaid to it in its first contract with the DVLA. In the Attorney General's initial report on the DVLA Photo X contract, it indicated that Photo X had been overpaid by some 15 million cedis. It also added that there was some wrongful collection of monies as reimbursements for consumables which had already been factored in the contract sum of some $2.7 million. But speaking to this morning on the Super Morning Show, Chief Executive Officer of Photo X, Dr. Ian Klovice, insists that the directive by the Attorney General is not feasible, seeing that investments made by companies need to yield profit.
I'm as baffled as you are, because the business model which PhotoX engaged in with the DVLA was one of which PhotoX was to make all the investments. Therefore, the contract sums that are mentioned in either contract are actually PhotoX's investment. And because of this investment, PhotoX was supposed to be paid 80% of revenue that is generated from the sale of driver's licenses. This is very important. PhotoX in neither contract was supposed to be paid any money from government chest. Actually, it is according to the contract, it is actually PhotoX that was to pay 20% of revenue that is generated from the sale of driving licenses to the driving public, to the DVLA. So the contract was supposed to last for a period of 6 years, and this arrangement was to carry on for a period of 6 years. I don't think any sensible business entity would invest an amount of money into a project, execute that project for a period of 6 years, and accept the same money that it invested in the beginning. I've heard them say that PhotoX's investment included profits. I mean, this is ridiculous. How are you able to invest your profits in a project? Well, Kujo, I would say this is a big joke. I mean, yes, there was that memorandum of understanding, but matters went far beyond that. PhotoX did have meetings. The issues that were being referred to were ironed out. PhotoX went ahead to procure equipment. The equipment was customized for the Ghana DVLA by the supplier under the approval of the Ghana DVLA. I can show you a document that has 12 signatures approving every stage of the customization of both the software and the hardware. Not only were these items approved, but when the manufacturer finished their job, the DVLA's chief executive actually did travel to Germany with PhotoX to accept the equipment. There are also letters to show that the DVLA actually asked PhotoX to install the equipment. So to say that this was not a finality, yes, at the time it may not have been a finality, but things went on further beyond that.
So those issues have been resolved, statement of understanding that are to be addressed before final agreement is reached. They have been addressed?
There's a letter to that effect from the DVLA.
So that's Dr. Ian Kluvice, CEO of PhotoX, speaking to us earlier today. This matter of that contract between DVLA and PhotoX will not go away anytime soon. We'll see how that plays out. Now, he's actually calling the bluff of the Attorney General. Let's see if the refund that is being suggested by the Attorney General will be done and how soon that will play out in the coming days. We'll go for a quick break at this point. When we come back, there's a lot happening at the Achimota School. Plus, for the health sector, for the community health nurses, they've been asked to go back to work. But will they accept this call by the Ghana Health Service? We'll bring you details of that story and more after the break. Stay with us.